real quick. Hold
Okay.
on.
And that will be resolution 48, unless Clerk Connor has other resolutions that are taking that place.
49.
All right, 49. Thank you, Clerk Connor. All right, well, that will be placed on the floor. I just don't know what it is. I can't send it anywhere yet. Point, Senator Bowling.
Point of information, my Wi-Fi router, I think, is exploding downstairs. It's not working. I did send it in a group me. It should be available to Pro Tempore Hunter. Sorry, I did send it in a group me. It should be available to Pro Tempore Hunter. If she can access that and send it to you, that would be much appreciated because it's not working for me for some reason.
I can do that, President Harmon.
I appreciate
right.
it. Thank you.
All right, while we wait, I see we have a point, Senator Edward.
Can I have resolution 47 heard on the floor tonight, or?
Well, okay. See, if I let that one go on the floor, also 45 will also go on the floor because it deals with the same issue. All right. All right, we will do 45 on the floor and then 47 followed by that. 46 will be going to slaw. Sorry, we're not doing multiple. We're just gonna do 45 and 47. All right, starting with Senator Powalski and Haltrive and T. Murray as co-sponsors. We'll hear this on the floor. You may begin whenever you're ready. Oops, sorry, did I not unmute you? There we go.
All right, thank you, appreciate it. Thank you, Mr. President. Resolution 45 is addressing the situation in Cuba, as I'm sure you all are aware of. I see Senator Marcus shaking his head. I believe, yes, Resolution 45 is addressing the situation in Cuba, in Haiti. My apologies, in Haiti. What I wanted to say is in the group me chat the other day, I'm sure you guys realized when I posted this in there, I mentioned that we need to put forth resolutions addressing both Cuba and Haiti. My apologies. And so that's why the other resolution for Cuba will be getting heard later. But I do believe that there are these issues that as Floridians having such a high density population of Haitians on our campus and in our state, it's important that we show the respect toward these groups. It's important that we show that, you know, a country that is so close to us is, you know, not in the same political situation that we have in the United States. There is political instability. They are suffering because of the COVID-19 virus. There are things that are still being, you know, rectified since the 2010 earthquake, as well as the cholera epidemic. And I think there are issues that we as a community, as Florida State University, we need to say that we stand up for the community. We need to say that we support them. We need to say that these are things in their community, especially after the assassination of their president and political instability, where frankly, at this point with their prime ministers, I think we need to say as a community that we support Haitians on our campus, that we support Haitians and all people in Haiti, excuse me, as they go through these tough times. So I think it's important that we say something as the Student Senate. I don't think that we can, you know, just let this go by, since this is such a major issue. And I think this is an issue that we can all come together around, right? I think this is something that can unify us, something that we can come together around, something that we can say something about, and hopefully have a positive effect. Let the student body know that we care about this. Let the student body know what's happening, and hopefully spread some awareness for it, because it is important. With that, I yield my time to the president. Thank you.
Senator yields 2 minutes and 38 seconds to his closing. Are there any technical non-debatable questions at this time for the sponsor? Senator Marcus.
Did you consult Senator Edouard on this?
Yeah. I don't think you need to consult other senators on anything that you want to write. You can write whatever you like.
asking this because there are two resolutions that are the same thing on the floor.
Yeah,
Okay.
sorry, I could not unmute myself. Yes, I did, and I extended an invitation to work together on it, but I never heard back.
All right, are there any other technical non-debatable questions at this time? Seeing none, we are now, Senator Edward.
Yeah, it was the invitation was extended after I was already in the process of reaching out to Haitian organizations on campus and the Caribbean Student Association to write this resolution.
Am I supposed to answer that, or?
I don't think there was a question in there, so was there a question in there? No, I don't think so. So are there any technical non-debatable questions at this time? Seeing none, we'll now move into the first round of pro with 2 minutes. Any senator may speak at this time if you would like. Senator Murray.
I just want to say that I'm definitely in support of this bill. I believe in the sponsor. I believe in his integrity. Also, I had the wonderful opportunity of adding some suggestions to it. Thankfully, they were found friendly. And upon first reading it, I knew it was good because I only thought of stuff to add to it instead of to take away anything. So I think it's a bill of substance. And if you wanted an instance of having an opportunity to represent underrepresented groups in our state and on our campus, I think this is a great chance to do that. I yield my time.
Senator yields 1 minute and 13 seconds to the first round of pro. Is there are there any other senators wishing to speak at this time? Seeing none, we'll move into the first round of con with 2 minutes. Are there any senators wishing to speak? Senator Edward.
While I do support the efforts of the resolution, I do feel as though that more thought could have been put into it in terms of explaining the situation and to not just say, oh yeah, the president was assassinated. Like there's more to it. It's deeper than that. And I think that to pay true tribute to the Haitian community, we would also have to highlight the historical aspect of it as well.
Sponsor, Senator yields 1 minute and 33 seconds. Point, Senator Hunter.
Yeah, I just have a point of information for the sponsor. And that was we, at the beginning of our meeting, heard two lovely young ladies come and speak to us about how much another bill that relates to this similar topic means to the communities that they're a part of. And I believe one was from FSU, one was from FAMU, and how they fully supported the other resolution. My question to you and like my point of information is, was anyone from, did you have contact with any of those two ladies who came / anyone in our like Caribbean club at school? I'm just wondering, because I know they didn't mention this resolution whenever they came in front of us.
Thank you. Thank you for asking. I was not in contact with them personally. I don't have the pleasure of knowing them. I did reach out to the Caribbean Students Association, but I never received a response, unfortunately. And I did provide them the link. I just told them, here's the link. I'd appreciate if you, a representative from your group could be in contact with me. I wasn't even necessarily, if they didn't need to respond to me, I was okay with that as long as they had the link, at least to review it. They had commenting access. I don't believe they ever read my text, but I did reach out to them, and I tried to reach out to them.
All right, there are 1 minute and 33 seconds left in the first round of con. Are there any other senators wishing to speak at this time? Point, Senator Randall.
My personal privilege, I can't find this so quickly. Pro Tem Hunter or President Harmon, would you be willing to share this on the screen?
Yes, give me a second.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Here we go. Oh, I actually have it open. All right. No, I don't. But I have it right here. hate Zoom. Let me know if you all can see that. All right. All right, y'all, yeah, probably don't need to see all this, but like, you know, that's there. So here's all the bulk of it. Are there any other senators wishing to speak in the first round of con at 1 minute and 33 seconds? All right, seeing none, is there a motion? All right, is there a motion to call the question? Senator Murray,
I move to call the question.
is there a second? Senator Houtred. Is that a second?
So seconded.
Okay, all right, seconded. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we'll move into the closing of the sponsor, which is 2 minutes and 38 seconds. Senator Kowalski, you may begin whenever you're ready.
Thank you, President Harmon. Before I go any further, I want to thank Senators Murray and Hawtrey for contributing to this. I apologize for not mentioning that earlier, but thank you for your contributions. And before I go any further, I also want to say that, you know, I fully respect Senator Edouard's resolution as well. Like I said, I did try to get into contact with an organization that could help with this. At the end of the day, I never received a response, but I did believe that as a Senate, it was our responsibility to voice support for the group and voice concern for the situation, regardless of whether or not someone had reached out. I wish I had been able to collaborate with them more, but the reality was that just did not happen. And so just to give you a rundown of the resolution, it addresses the political unrest, the assassination, but it does go deeper than that. It addresses the ongoing issues resulting from the 2010 earthquake recovery, the cholera epidemic, the harsh effects of COVID-19, the pandemic, lack of access to vaccinations in the country. That's something that a lot of countries, you know, we're fortunate enough in the United States to have vaccine centers all over, but that's really not the case in some countries. And I think that needs to be pointed out, that there are a lot of these current events that are coming to play in Haiti. Like Senator Edouard said earlier, it's not just the assassination, and I fully agree. In the county where I grew up and where I went to high school, there was such a high concentration of Haitian Americans. And so I was, you know, I had a lot of friends who were Haitian. I was exposed to the culture a lot. And in writing this resolution, it was no surprise to learn that the state of Florida has the highest concentration of Haitian Americans in the United States. As such, being one of Florida's major universities and having that Haitian population on campus, I think it's important to voice concern and to express our support for people in Haiti and Haitians on our campus and to support them in these times. So with that, thank you all for listening. Thank you, Senators Hawtrey, Murray, for your contributions. And I appreciate you guys all listening. Thank you, and I yield my time.
Senator waives the remainder of his time. We are now in line to vote. Yes is to pass the resolution. No is to not pass the resolution. This just needs a simple majority. Pro Tempore Hunter.
Yes, if you'll be voting yes to pass this resolution, please raise your hands at this time. All right, thank you. If you will be voting no to not pass this resolution, please raise your hands at this time. Thank you. If you'll be abstaining from this vote, please raise your hands at this time. All right, thank you. Let me do some math and I'll be back.
Senator Wood. All right.
President Harmon, can you answer my chat I sent you? I realized you weren't looking at the screen.
Yeah, sorry. So technically the abstention rule only applies to bills. I tried to change this a while ago. It only applies to bills and statutes.
All right, so the vote read is 15 yes, 1 no, and 10 abstentions. So this bill does, or excuse me, sorry, people are changing things. 15 yes, 0 no's, and 11 abstentions. This resolution passes.
All right, congratulations to the sponsors. Resolution 45 does pass. 46 is going off to SLAW. 47 sponsored by Senator Edward and Lewis as the primary sponsors. Please welcome the sponsors to the floor. You will all have 5 minutes. There we go. You may begin whenever you're ready.
Thank you. Do you think you could put the resolution up for everyone to see, please? Thank you.
Just give me a minute to find it.
Okay. While President Harmon is finding it, before I begin, I do want to take a moment of silence for President Moise and the innocent lives that are, being lost in Haiti due to the current political climate. Thank you. So I wrote Resolution 47 after speaking to Haitian and Caribbean student leaders to shed light on what's happening in Haiti and to also support the Haitian community here at FSU. This is highly triggering to us as this hasn't happened in Haiti in over 106 years. This is something this is not just something that occurred overnight. It is deeply rooted and intricate. It has to do with the lack of security in Haiti, the lack of checks and balances that are put to use, natural disasters, the financial situation from having to pay the French government reparations because we freed ourselves, the new Haitian constitution, corruption, and so much more. Most of the students that I spoke to agreed on the lack of acknowledgement and how no FSU entity besides the Caribbean Student Association and the Haitian Cultural Club showed support or allyship for the Haitian community when we needed it the most. Florida is home to over 530,000 Haitians, and we have contributed a lot to Florida as a whole. Haitian students have also poured a lot of time and effort into Florida State University, from agency leadership, organization presidents, to orientation leaders, and so much more. With Florida State University being a public university, it is important that we're supporting not just the Haitian community, but also any community that is under attack. Although there is civil unrest, there are also civil societies in Haiti that have dedicated their lives to challenge the status quo in the country by pushing for transformative goals and visionary solutions. And I would like to take a moment to also thank them. I also want to encourage any student here tonight to share your stories and speak up for your nation and community, as it is your lived experience, or else someone else will do it for us. I will never stop loving or believing that Haiti will rise and prosper despite all the obstacles that we have faced, because we will die fighting for our country with strength through unity. Remember that there are resources here like the University Counseling Center and local resources such as the Tallahassee Counseling Center if you're ever experienced anything. Thank you, and I hope you all support this. En Lunia Felafos. Thanks.
All right, Senator yields 1 minute and 54 seconds to her closing. We are now in line for technical non-debatable questions at this time. Are there any technical non-debatable questions at this time? Seeing none, we'll now move into the first round of pro with 2 minutes. Senator Marcus.
Listen to Black women. That is all.
All right, Senator yields 1 minute and 59 seconds to the first round of pro. Are there any other senators wishing to speak at this time? Senator Kowalski.
Thank you, Mr. President. I want to speak in favor of this resolution. Even though I had a resolution on the same topic, that doesn't mean that both can't pass. And from the very beginning, I've wanted both to pass. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to work with the senator on this one, but I'm extending an invitation in the future. Again, if you'd like to work on anything, I believe in the spirit of collaboration. That was one of the goals behind this resolution, to come together as a Senate and really, voice our support for a group that, has a big presence on our campus. For that reason, I'm going to support this resolution as well. I think it's a great resolution. I can't really say anything bad about it. I think this is a good resolution. So I think you should all vote for it too.
Senator yields 1 minute and 18 seconds to the first round of pro. Are there any other senators wishing to speak at this time? Seeing none, we'll move into the first round of con. Are there any senators wishing to speak in the first round of con? Seeing none, is there a motion? Senator Roy,
I move to pass by acclamation.
is there a second? Senator Randall,
Second, Mr. President.
are there any objections? Seeing none, resolution 47 passes by acclamation. Congratulations, sponsor. All right, we are now in line to move on to unfinished business. However, Senator Bowling, you have a resolution.
Yes. This shouldn't be too long.
It has to be sent to Pro Tempore and I and Clerk Connor.
Was
And-
Pro Tempore Hunter able to send you that?
Yeah, I put it in y'all's inbox, but let me know if you didn't get it. My computer also sounds like it's going to explode. So
Did you send it to, which one did you send it to?
1 second, my Outlook.
All right,
is
whatever. You can just share it. I believe that you've sent it, so just go ahead and share it.
awesome.
And this will be resolution 49.
All right.
No, wait a minute.
I'm sorry.
This will go to rules and calendar. All right. That will go to the rules and calendar committee. All right, moving on to unfinished business. We have Bill 42, sponsored by Senators Tackett and Marcus as primary sponsors, Garcia as co-sponsors, fixing contradictory election code statutes and increasing transparency in campaign finances, referred to finance and judiciary, amended and passed in finance, passed in judiciary, tabled on the floor by sponsor. That's why it's an unfinished business. Please welcome the sponsors, Tackett and Marcus, to the floor. You will have 5 minutes to present Bill 42.
Okay, so I'll go first. This was a very well debated, bipartisan debate in both of the committees it went through. It was amended it was amended after great debate. And essentially, I'm going to go ahead and provide the motivation behind this. So Senator Tackett and I were awake at this time in the month of May, looking at trying to find the campaign finance reports from the past 2 elections. And we couldn't find them, which was weird, but we have finally gotten them after going down some other avenues. And in looking at them, we realized that there were some very contradictory stuff, and we think there were some workarounds being used such that organizations could donate money. So we decided to explicitly add that in statutes. That is the biggest change here. The other change this brings about, and we have 2 bills that are very similar, but the other change this brings about is a limit on maximum individual donations. I personally believe that student government is taken, like elections, people should not be spending as much money as is being spent on them right now. There were donations in this past election cycle where one individual on 2 separate occasions donated $1,300, and on another instance, $2,700, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, Senator Tackett, but it was 2 exorbitantly large amounts of sums donated on 2 separate occasions. And I believe this puts candidates not affiliated with parties at a major disadvantage. I simply think we need to make our SGA elections less involved, less money, less stressful. And that is my motivation behind this bill, is just to clarify simple things out. This had a lot of debate in the committees and a lot of work was put into it. So it's been tabled for a long time, and I yield to my co-sponsor.
Yeah, so you're looking at Bill 42 as the first one. Real quick summary of it. It's basically closing a loophole that could allow organizations to bypass any financial code we have concerning campaign finances. So instead of, because the way that it reads right now, it only applies to individuals. So we threw in the word organization in there so that these campaign finance rules also apply to organizations. That's a major change in there. We also specifically said that party membership dues do not count towards any of the campaign limits. So it also sets a limit for individual donations at being 200 each election cycle. And that's basically it. I yield for our closing.
Senators yield 2 minutes and 14 seconds to their closings. Are there any technical non-debatable questions at this time? Senator Randall.
Yeah, my question is, will you commit to working with the person who gets appointed as supervisor of elections to help them understand your legislation and enforce it in the next election cycle where it is applicable?
Of course, yes.
Absolutely. And speaking of which, we need to get that done.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Are there any other technical non-debatable questions? Unfortunately, Senator Bowling, I can't recognize points in technical non-debatable questions. All right. Seeing none, we're now on the first round of pro. Senator Bowling.
Point of information, I'm a little bit confused on what just happened regarding the resolution. If you could clarify that.
You placed it on the floor and then I sent it to committee. It's my decision if we want to have it be heard on the floor or not. I felt that resolution deals with issues and in this meeting that shouldn't be rushed through, and I believe the Rules and Calendar Committee look it over.
The only issue with that, and I'm sorry to interrupt this.
So that reasoning behind it.
I'm sorry. The only reason I'm interrupting this, and I'm sorry to interrupt, is that this resolution would become useless if not like brought up and passed tonight. Considering HLSU, I know you weren't present for this. HLSU does not have an e-board and will not have an e-board going into fall unless a resolution like this would be passed or at least heard. If not, they won't have an e-board and these marginalized groups won't get the representation they need just because of basically a technicality. So that's why I was wondering, why this wasn't brought up.
This resolution would not be legally binding anyway, so it wouldn't fix that technicality anyway. You would just be recommending that. It still wouldn't fix whatever technicality you had, even if it deals with rules or statutes. So it's not even time sensitive. And this is the fault of the Senate here, because the Senate decided not to go forward with these candidates. And it's also the fault of the previous e-board that chose not to vote on those candidates. Unfortunately, that's just how it is. We gotta wait till September. That's just how things happen. Sorry, it's gonna go to rules and calendar. All right, 2 minutes in the first round of pro. Point, Senator Edward.
Okay, so if we don't do anything about it tonight, then when will we? Because we kind of need to act quick.
If it's tabled in Senate, they can come back to Senate. Nothing happens. To my knowledge, you all tabled them. Is that correct? Yes. All right. I'm seeing nods.
Yes,
So they're
President
tabled.
Harmon, that's correct. They were tabled.
Will they be
They are on the.
able?
Yes,
will
they
they-
can come back. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yes. Sorry about that. Yes, they can come back. We just pick them up off the table as if they were a piece of legislation, even though they're people, and we rehear them again.
Okay, I just really want to make sure that they are going to have an exec for next year. Are we solid on that, or do we not know as of now?
If y'all table them, they are still the technically forwarded candidates that are in the property of the Senate, and the Senate can choose whatever they want to do to deal with them. You could untable them now and call them back right now if you wanted to, but I don't think you want to do that right now. But next meeting, they will still be on the floor under Senate confirmations,
Okay, thank you.
regardless of whether or not this resolution passes. And I apologize for the internet connection. Wyoming does not have great internet connection. Point, Senator Bowling.
All right, one more thing. If that's the case, I would retract my, can I retract my resolution because it'll be completely useless? No.
Okay. Resolution 49 will be withdrawn, but we're just not even going to call it Resolution 9 or 49. We'll just pretend it never even happened. So the next resolution will be Resolution 49, whatever that may be. Sound good to everybody? I think that will work. All right. We are still in the first round of pro on Bill 42. Are there, Senator Randall, I'm a little confused as to whose hands are here for a reason.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm here to speak on this. I like this bill a lot. Thank you,
Alright.
President Harmon. Appreciate you handling all the back and forth. I think this is a really good bill. We heard it in finance and we picked it apart a little bit, just trying to make sure it had all the right components. I think they've done a good job. I think this limits the amount of money in elections without limiting the amount of people you can have. I like to say that, good campaigns are built on a coalition of different people. And I think this encourages, if you want to, bring in large sums of money, go ahead, go do it. Go bring it through lots of individual donors. And that's what this does. And I really appreciate that fact. I also think it closes some loopholes, which are really important. And I'll yield to anybody else who wants to speak.
Senator yields 1 minute and 22 seconds. Senator Bowling.
Yes. So regarding this bill, I had a chance to talk to Marcus Antackett regarding it. And I do believe that it does kind of clear up a lot of things about campaign funding and financing that wasn't cleared up in the original statute. So I feel like this does a lot of clarifying. So for that reason, I will be voting in the affirmation.
Candidate yield 1 minute to the first round of pro. Senator Flashman.
Sorry, I just had a point of information about the issue previously with the resolution regarding the HLSU. So you had mentioned that the reason that you won't be wanting to hear that today is because actually that we chose not to forward the candidates, but we were told that it would be illegal to do so. Again, you weren't here, but that's what we were told after speaking with Parliamentarian Rowan and different people giving advice there, that it would be against statutes for us to even forward them. So there was no option except to table them, which is why we want to make this recommendation. It was stated by multiple people that we would want to forward these people if we could. I don't believe there was really anyone objecting to that. It was just the statutorial issue. So if possible, I would like to move to put that resolution back on the floor.
Okay, I understand. I really do. I understand your concern. However, a resolution will not change that. You can just literally go right to Tazzy and ask her. You can just go say, hey, this is what we want. You don't have to write a resolution for any of that. You can just talk to them. Like you can text them. I can text them. You want me to email them? I can do that. We don't need to do a resolution. But if you really, really want to do a resolution, we can do that. But I'm just saying you don't have to do it. I'm not like trying to be mean or anything, but I'm trying to be reasonable too. So if you really want to do it, we can do it. But like, you know, you get what I'm saying there. The resolution will not change whatever happens at all. It doesn't change any rules. Any other questions about that so that we can just continue all these bills? All right. And I'm not trying to be like aggressive or anything, you know, I'm just stating a fact, I guess. All right, we have 1 minute in the first round of pro. Any other senators wishing to speak at this time? Seeing none, is there, we'll now move into the first round of con with 2 minutes. Are there any senators wishing to speak at this time? Seeing none, is there a motion? Senator Myers,
I move to call the question.
Senator Murray,
So
Team Murray.
second.
Are there any objections? Seeing none, Bill 42 sponsors, you have 2 minutes and 14 seconds for your opening or closing. You may begin whenever you're ready.
Yeah, so one of the people who spoke in pro said, this bill was kind of ripped to shreds in finance. There was a lot of debate around it. And one of the things that was mentioned in that debate, and that senator is nodding his head, there will be supplementary legislation to sort of give this teeth. However, that is in a different chapter of statutes. Right now, there's a big question mark as to what happens if this is violated, but that will be addressed later. This has been delayed so many times that we haven't really been able to work on that. But essentially, this has been vetted very thoroughly. There's been great debate on this. And I know me and my co-sponsor thank everyone for that. And I really think this is just a way to make our lives easier and to make election season less stressful and less intense and more level the playing field, make it more fair and even.
Yeah, let's make it more people oriented. Thank you all for speaking to pro. I appreciate it. And looking forward to y'all voting yes on this.
Sponsors waive the remainder of their time. We are now in line to vote. Pro Tempore Hunter.
Yes, if you'll be voting yes to pass this bill, please raise your hand at this time. All right, thank you. If you'll be voting no to not pass this bill, please raise your hand at this time. If you'll be abstaining from the vote on this bill, please raise your hand at this time. All right, the vote read for this bill is 28 yes, 0 no's, and 0 abstentions. It does pass. Actually, sorry, 29 yes.
Congratulations to sponsors. Bill 42 does pass. We'll now move on to Bill 43, sponsored by the same sponsor, Senators Marcus and Tackett and Garcia's co-sponsor, fixing contradictory election code statutes and increasing transparency in campaign finances. Referred to finance, then judiciary, passed in finance, amended and passed in judiciary, tabled on the floor by sponsors, where we will now no longer table it. Please welcome the sponsors to the floor. You will have 5 minutes for your opening.
Hey everyone, so yeah, this one's pretty much the banning of 401c4 organizations, 501c4 organizations, I'm sorry, is late, from donating in our SGA elections. Basically what a 501c4 is, they're called public servant advocacy organizations, And basically, this is where dark money gets funneled through. Dark money is basically this money where can be funneled into this organization, and this organization does not have to disclose who donated the money to them. And then this organization can distribute the funding as they see fit. So this allows for secret donors to influence elections, and I do not want that at Florida State. And I believe my sponsor feels the same way. So this basically would stop a C4 organization from doing that. These organizations are very partisan on both sides, and we do not feel that they should be allowed to influence our elections. I yield to my sponsor.
Yeah, I don't think that corporate PACs or any PAC or super PAC that has a political affiliation with our national government should be allowed to contribute to something that affects our constituents, our students here at Florida State. What sort of inspired this was that there was an organization that did publish a video that actively claimed to have influenced our SGA. I don't know whether or not that's true. I haven't seen it explicitly in any of the donations that I've seen. Hence the other bill to increase transparency that we just passed. But this one is explicitly stating that we do not want that kind of money. And once again, that is us simplifying our elections, that is us leveling the playing field, and that is us making sure that it is a student government election, not outside influences. And with that, I yield.
Sponsors yield with 3 minutes and 1 second to their closing. Are there any questions for the sponsors? Seeing none, we'll move into the first round of pro with 2 minutes. Any senators wishing to speak? Seeing none, we'll move into the first round of con. Are there any senators wishing to speak? Seeing none, is there a motion? Senator Lassard.
I move to call a question.
Is there a second? Senator Roy.
So seconded.
Are there any objections? Oh, okay. Senator Lassard is not objecting, I hope. 3 minutes and 1 second for your closing. Sponsors, you may begin whenever you're ready.
I've said what I've needed to say. This is straightforward. This has been vetted. Thank you.
Yeah, we spent a very long time in finance and I believe judiciary. A lot of smart people looked at this. All of you wonderful people looked at this. So thank you very much for pretty much, I'm hoping, coming to a consensus on this with us, getting dark money out of our elections and preventing it beforehand before it becomes an issue. Very rarely do we see government become proactive. And this is one of the few times where we can see government being proactive. So thank you guys very much.
All right. We are now in line to vote on Bill 43. Pro Tempore Hunter.
You'll be voting yes on Bill 43. Please raise your hand at this time. Hands at this time. All right, thank you. If you're voting no on Bill 43, please raise your hands at this time. If you'll be abstaining from the vote on Bill 43, please raise your hands at this time. The vote read on this bill is, actually I need to check something, 1 second. Sorry, this is awful, but we're going to need to revote. We had somebody voted twice. So if you're voting yes on Bill 43, please raise your hand at this time. This is yes for Bill 43. All right, thank you. If you'll be voting no on Bill 43 at this time, please raise your hands. This is no for Bill 43. If you'll be abstaining from the vote on Bill 43, raise your hands. All right, thank you. The vote read for Bill 43 is 28 yes, 0 no's, and 0 abstentions. Thank you. This bill does pass.
Congratulations to the sponsors. Bill 43 does pass. All right, we will now move on to Resolution 40, sponsored by Senator Myers as the primary sponsor, amending Rule 8.3 to include the land acknowledgement in the calendar. Referred to Rules and Calendar, passed in Rules and Calendar, tabled on the floor by the sponsor. Please welcome the sponsor to the floor. Sponsor, you will have 5 minutes for opening. Please raise your hand unless you are not here. There we go. Awesome. All right, you will have 5 minutes. Go
Okay,
ahead.
hey guys, so as most of you know, in 2020, the Senate passed the SGA Indigenous Land Acknowledgement Act with the intention of recognizing both the historical and current day importance of Indigenous people and their land throughout the FSU community and on our campus. Since its passing, the land acknowledgement has been read at the beginning of all our Senate meetings following the moment of silence and preceding the roll call. The intention of this resolution is simply to add the Land Acknowledgement Act to Rule 8.3 of our Rules of Procedure, which outlines the calendar used at Senate meetings. We have a responsibility as the Senate to follow our rules of procedure as stated and keep our documents updated with our most current practices, which would therefore include adding the land acknowledgement. So thanks. I look forward to hearing what you guys have to say, and I yield the rest of my time.
Thank you, Senator Myers. There are 4 minutes and 20 seconds left for the closing. Are there any technical non-debatable questions at this time? Seeing none, we are now in the first round pro. Are there any senators wishing to speak in the first round pro? Senator Marcus.
Yeah, so I've already updated the finance rules of procedure to include a land acknowledgement. I encourage any other committees that have not done that to do so. But I feel like this wraps up sort of a bow on the process we have been going through to get this land acknowledgement officially in as a thing that we will do as a Senate. And I believe we will continue to lead the campus via example in this manner. And with that, I yield in full support.
Senator yields 1 minute and 33 seconds. Senator Roy.
Yeah, I just want to say this is an absolutely amazing idea. Like, I'm fully in support of this. I think that this definitely should have been done sooner. And even as someone who used to be a clerk, who used to look at minutes all the time, I wish I could have seen it with that at the top. So I'll be yielding in full support.
Senator yields 1 minute and 17 seconds. Senator Randall. Oh, I muted you by accident.
It's because you don't like me, that's why. So we start every RTAC meeting with this, or at least we did for the past 6 months. No more than that. It's a tradition, and I think reinstills in our funding board why we do it. I think it's good to do it throughout all of our committees, all of our Senate meetings, and I think we should pass this by unanimous consent.
53 seconds left in the first round of pro. Seeing none, we'll move into the first round of con with 2 minutes. Seeing none, is there a motion? Senator Tackett.
I move to pass by unanimous consent.
Yes, that actually works. Okay. Senator Lassard.
I second.
Are there any objections? Seeing none, this resolution 40 passes by unanimous consent and will be adopted in our rules of procedure. And we will finally be in line with rules. So thank you, Senator Myers. All right, we will now move on to statements of dissent. Are there any senators wishing to lodge a statement of dissent? Just a reminder, statements of dissent are due 7:30 p.m. on the Friday after Senate meetings. Senator Lassard.
Yeah, I will be lodging a statement of dissent.
All right, please have that in my email before 7:30 on Friday to be included on the calendar. New business, we will, June Senator of the Month. Can I just get a quick raise of hands of anybody that would like to do this? Because like I know y'all are tired, so like, if anybody wants to do that, we can continue, but we can also table it until later. I need more than like one hand if y'all want to do it. I'm gonna give y'all 5 more seconds and then we'll see. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. We got enough people. Okay, we'll do that. We'll do it. June Senator of the Month. Is there a motion to open up the floor for nominations for June Senator of the Month? Senator Marcus.
So moved.
Is there a second? Senator at Bowling.
So seconded.
Are there any objections? Senator Lassard.
I object. Senator of the Month is a cool thing, but I'm exhausted.
All right, Senator Marcus, you withdraw your motion.
You can leave. I do not.
Okay, that was very rude. Let's not be like that. I know it's 2 a.m., 2:30 in the morning, but we don't need to be that rude. All right, there's an objection, so we need to vote on it. To vote on whether or not we forward or go into June Senator of the Month, and then no is to not go into June Senator of the Month, right? Yes. All right, Pro Tempore Hunter.
Yes, if you'll be voting yes to continue into going into June Senator of the Month, please raise your hand. So yes, if you want to continue to go into Senator of the Month. All right, thank you. No, if you do not. Sorry, I had to lower all hands. Please raise your hand if you're voting no. I just had to get it back to 0. And then abstentions. All right, the motion does pass. 17 yes, 1 no, 5 abstentions.
All right, to June Senator. Are there any nominations at this time? And for the senators that are new, there has to be a second, and then they have to accept for it to go through. That's clear. I might be breaking up because it says my internet connection is unstable, so I apologize. Senator Linsky.
I nominate Vice Chair Tackett.
All right, is there a second? Senator Marcus.
So seconded.
Are there no objections? Senator Tackett, do you accept? Wherever you are, there we go. All right, for this, I'm going to allow you to unmute yourselves. It's just easier.
I do accept. Thank you very much.
All right, Senator Piper Ferguson.
I nominate Senator Barrett.
All right, is there a second? Or yeah, Senator Bowling.
So seconded.
All right, Senator Barrett, do you accept?
I do.
All right, so we have Barrett. Who's the other one? Tackett. All right, Senator Edward.
I'm gonna nominate. Can you nominate 2 senators or just 1?
Yeah, you can do it. Just do it separately. So do the
Okay.
one first.
Okay, I'm gonna nominate Pro Temp Hunter.
The pro temp and the president cannot be nominated.
Oh, okay. Then I nominate Senator Roy.
All right, is there a second for Senator Roy? Senator Bowling.
So seconded.
All right, Senator Roy, do you accept?
Thank you. I humbly accept.
All right, we have Tackett, Barrett, and Roy. Are there any other nominations for June Senator of the Month? I guess this could kind of include July as well. Whatever. All right, seeing none, is there a motion to close the floor? Senator Randall.
Mr. President, I move to close the floor for nominations.
Is there a second? Senator Piper Ferguson.
So seconded.
Are there any objections? Yeah, Senator of the Summer, basically. Oh, sorry, Abril just sent that to me. Okay. So, all right. So the floor is closed for nominations. We have Senator Tackett, Senator Barrett, and Senator Roy as the candidates. I will write their names down just so that we have them sure. And I believe Jacqueline was going to do this, right?
Yes.
So take it away.
Am I reading out the roll call and asking for them to send me the direct message too?
If you, do you have the roll call?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, either you can do it or Pro Tempore Hunter can do it, however you guys want to do it. I don't know. But Dr. Williams usually did it by threes, so I think you should just call it. It'll just be easier.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Do you and Pro Tempore vote?
Pro Tempore Hunter votes, and I only vote if it's a tie.
Okay. Rowan? Connor?
Oh, he's parliamentarian vote.
Okay.
So yes, and Connor doesn't vote either because she's clerk.
Okay. Edward?
But every. Oh, and sorry, I should have explained this. Sorry, it's late. Please send your private message to Jacqueline, the name of the senator, the last name of the senator that you want. She'll tally it up at the end, and then we'll post it later. You'll get the results later or whatever. But send it only to her, not everyone.
Okay, so you send it to me when I call your name. So I'm gonna tally the people who are sending them now. But if you already sent it, you don't have to send it again. Okay. Flashman? Tackett?
Yeah.
Roy? Barrett? One second, there was an influx of y'all messaging. Okay. Marcus, Myers, Garcia, Virgin, Randall, Lassard, Rogers, Rodriguez, Linsky, Fineout, Lewis, Gonzalez, Moore, Nemeth, Murray, West, Wood, Pfeiffer Ferguson, Vanderlei, Botel, Kowalski, Bowling, Rimler, Zittraler, T. Murray, and I think that is it.
All right, if you have not sent your vote to Jacqueline, please do so now. I'll give you like 10 more seconds, but I think they're all done. All right. Now move on to that we'll see the results whenever. It'll be posted online or on the Instagram. We'll figure it out. All right. Closing announcements. Are there any senators wishing to make a closing announcement? Senator Marcus.
Hey, I just want to apologize for my kind of outright rude objection. I have worked it out with Senator Lassard. I Venmoed them $5 for coffee. I'm just in like the cranky baby phase of the night. I think we all are. Everyone get a good night of sleep. Rest up, hydrate before you go to bed. We're probably all dehydrated at this point. But yeah, good work tonight, Senate. I'm glad we were able to get everything done, and see y'all in the fall.
Senator Roy.
All right. Thank you for helping to pass the Central Reserves Bill tonight. I know it's a lot of work, and I just wanted to say one last shout out to all the members of the committee, everyone who made it out to some of the hearings, and everyone that really talked about this process and spread it to RSOs, because we got a ton of requests and we were able to spread this to a lot of organizations. As well, we will be working on making Central Reserves have actual statutes that pertain to it, so there's a more organized process that future chairs can work with. So I'll be working on that. Anyone interested can message me. I'll certainly be messaging those who served on Central Reserves. And I hope you all have a great night. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Senator Barrett.
Everyone, I forgot to make this announcement during the call for liaison announcements, but the link that President Harmon just put in the chat, there's going to be a stand down happening at FAMU. It's a volunteer event that helps homeless vets and stuff, give them supplies and stuff like that. So if you're interested in doing something like that to help our veteran community a little bit, I do encourage you to click on that link and see if you can go.
Thank you, Senator Barrett. Senator Kowalski.
Thank you, President Harmon. I just want to say thank you to you guys for being a part of, the first few months of my Senate experience. And thank you to those of you who are summer senators who I've worked alongside. And just a special thank you to Chair Linsky, who's sort of helped to shape the foundation that I have for my Senate experience and the good work that we've done in the Judiciary Committee.
Thank you, Senator Kowalski. Are there any other closing announcements at this time? All right, seeing none, we'll move on to officer announcements. Do any of the officers have an announcement at this time? You'll go last after all the other ones. All right, seeing none, we'll go into Pro Tem 400.
All right, hi Senate. Just a couple of things. Thank you for allowing me to be pro temp this summer and obviously preside over the meeting that we had today. I had a fantastic time as pro tem 4, and I just want to really highlight one thing. As an officer, I think we really need to, as we're going into the fall, check and understand how welcoming that SGA and Senate specifically are for our minority students. Tonight was really hard for me, I'm not going to lie. And not because of the duties as presiding officers, but because of having to represent a group that I feel like I'm trauma dumping every single time to make people care. And I think that that is something that we as a Senate need to evaluate. And I'm hoping that we can take this break for a month and evaluate it during that time. Beyond that, I'm very happy with the work that we've been able to accomplish this summer. And, look over the voting records if you ever get a chance. I put a lot of time into those. And then I want to specifically thank all of our chairs and vice chairs and Chair Linsky for stepping up today in my position. But again, please keep in mind the way that we make others feel by comments that we make and by actions that we take in the chambers. And that's it for me.
Thank you, Pro Tempore Hunter. All right. Well, thank you for Pro Tempore Hunter, for taking over. I'm glad that you were actually the best choice for this. So you filled the shoes greatly. I appreciate it, especially last minute because I told you last night. But thank you very much. I'm on vacation, so like it's hard to do all this. But anyways, thank you to the summer senators who will be leaving us for your service to the student body, to the Student Senate, and to the Student Government Association and Florida State University. I appreciate that you have taken your time to spend your summer here, not only participating, voting, but also showing up to committees, caring, taking the time to be here, and being here at 2:40 in the morning for you all. It takes a lot to do that, especially in a short period. Sorry for the candidate that got confirmed today. Unfortunately, this is your last meeting, but thank you for sitting in. At least you had a long meeting. But I appreciate you still sticking through and doing this last meeting as well. We look forward to seeing you in the Senate, hopefully again, maybe in the future or in other positions in student government as well. And then I was supposed to appoint some people today, but I think I might rethink those later on. So I'll contact you about that later on. This meeting has definitely been a rough one for you all. I wasn't here for all of it, so I can't really comment on everything. But I think the Senate needs to work a little bit on being nicer to people as well, but also getting your point across. I get it. There's tough subjects that you all talk about, but respect has to be given to be received. So like we can't treat other organizations and other people and other, I don't know, anybody else like they're any less of us or less of a person or whatever, just because we're in a box. I don't know, maybe it's just late, but we really gotta like hone ourselves in and be a little nicer to people. I try to be as nice to people as possible. I get a little rude sometimes because I get a little tired. I get it. And you're probably not even listening to me right now, but come on. The power of the Senate comes also from our connections with other organizations as well. Our resolutions don't go far unless people respect us and respect us and have a good relationship with us. So right now we're in a fight with the executive branch a little bit, and I really think we need to mend that bond. And that doesn't only start with us, that also starts with them. And I'd really like that to happen regardless of what is happening right now. I really think we're college students. It's student government. It is really not that deep. We are not talking about multi-billion-dollar deals that happen in like the US Senate and stuff. And I know I'm taking up time, but like it really needs to be said that we're college students. You're 21, 19, 20, 18. You don't need to be dealing with all the stress. You don't need to be stressed out on these long meetings. So really take this August break to really like take a break. Like don't even think about it. If you want to write legislation, fine, maybe that's relaxing to you, but I really recommend just taking a break, disconnecting yourself, just really calming down before the fall semester starts. That's just a mental health note, personal health note. Just take care of yourselves. And yeah, I think that was it. You'll hear more about that, but this was a rough meeting. All right, I think that's all. Enjoy your break. I will enjoy my break as well. So I will see you all in fall. Hopefully we will get this in person, fully in person. We're not gonna do any of that hybrid stuff. It's either online or in person. We're really shooting for only in person with masks, obviously, and all that COVID stuff. But also get vaccinated, all that good stuff. All right, and I'm done. So we'll move on to the advisors.
Hey, Senate. This was a really, really long night, so I will not take up a lot of your time. I will echo the sentiments of your two fearless leaders. And also, I would like to do a special introduction. You kind of got a sneak peek already with doing the Senator of the Month, but we do have Mrs. Jacqueline Butts that's with us tonight, who will serve and who has accepted the position of Assistant Director of Student Governance and Advocacy. So she will be working with us through Senate, and I'll be still available as well. So I wanted to introduce her. I wanted to also give her a moment just to say a few things in a second, but I wanted to thank the summer senators. I also want to thank Pro Tempore Hunter for her service, Senate President Harmon, Senate Pro Tempore Linsky as well. And then also just a big shout out to Central Reserves. You all work very, very hard. Tyler has emailed me a million times. I have emailed him and group me, messaged him a million times to the point where he probably is fed up with me and tired of me, but y'all did a great job with Central Reserve. So again, I echo the sentiments of your fearless leaders to just love on each other. We'll have another time to talk more in depth about this, because I think we say this at the end of every meeting, and then we say it again and we say it again. And we just got to find a way to not have to keep saying this over and over and actually enacting what we're asking. You all are good people. You really are. And so we just got to make sure that we are being good to each other, even when challenges happen. That's when you're supposed to be the best to people. That's when your character shows, when you can be in turmoil and actually be still good to people. So anyways, I just started lecturing and I said I wasn't going to do that. I'm going to let Jacqueline Butts chime in, and then we're going to let you all go to bed. Thanks, Senate.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for that, Dr. Williams. I am looking forward to working with you all. Just a little bit of background. I have already been working in student governance and advocacy. I'm coming from working with the Congress of Graduate Students, our Freshman and Transfer Leadership Institutes, and our Diversity and Inclusion Institute. So it's really good to see a lot of our past participants in here in Senate, and I hope that we can continue that as we continue to build programs and do some more outreach. That I'm looking forward to talking through those ideas with you all.
Thank you, Dr. Williams and Jacqueline. Congratulations, welcome to the Senate. It's nice and fun. I'm glad you enjoyed your first meeting. No other way to welcome you to Senate than with a big, long meeting that lasts until 2:45. But for our final roll call, for her final roll call, will Pro Tempore Hunter please administer the roll call? Go ahead.
Yeah, the way I actually close out all of my tabs, I forgot I had to do this, y'all. Give me 1 second.
As much as I miss you going, I also patiently await Renee to come back as well.
Yes, Ms. Renee, moreover. So for my last final roll call, and for our final roll call of Summer Senate, Senators Flashman, Tackett, and Roy. Senators Marcus, Myers, and Garcia. Senators Bergen, Randall, and Nasworthy. Senators Lassard, Rogers, and Rodriguez. Senators Linsky, Fineout, and Lewis. Senators Gonzalez, Moore, and Nemeth. Senators B. Murray, Pfeiffer, Ferguson, and West. Senators Vanderlei, Botel, and Powalski. Senators Bowling, Rimler, and Zitrauer. Senators Temery, Edouard, and Wood. Senators Barrett, Lynch, and McFadden. Senators Wispin, Espinosa, and Knayespa. Senators Berman, Condon, and Wills. Senators Dion, Hawtribe, and Freeman. Senators Barker, Branch, and Blitch. All right, I'm finished with our final roll call.
All right. I've gotten many questions about the lateness of this meeting. Yes, this is one of the latest meetings. I don't know if it is the latest. So like, I don't know. Y'all can look at records if you want. Like, I don't know. The latest in the 71st was like 1 a.m. So y'all figure it out. Is there a motion to adjourn? Senator Edward.
Motion to adjourn.
All right, we are adjourned. You all can all go to sleep.